Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about 3 personnel fired as bullet scam returns to Manila airport, the latest on those 60 men that walked through the subdivision viral video, American sentenced to 9 years for inappropriate behavior in Cambodia, former Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte arrested at NAIA, plus much more, beginning with the fan favorite USD to peso exchange rate. Right now, $1 equal to 57.4. Let's jump straight into our main story. The dismissal of the 3 airport security employees followed an incident on March 6th in which a 69-year-old woman alleged that a NAIA staff attempted to plant a bullet in her luggage before her family's flight to Vietnam. In her viral social media post, she describes how security claimed an x-ray showed a bullet-shaped amulet, but a manual search revealed nothing. According to Bisnar, the woman and her daughter had already passed through the OTS x-ray checkpoint and were in a hurry when officers detected something that looked like a bullet in the x-ray. However, Bisnar acknowledged that the standard operating procedure was not followed, as the physical baggage check should have been concluded at the initial screening area. Quotes, "Our personnel also have shortcomings because they chased the passenger to the boarding gate without being certain about the identity of the passenger or the baggage involved." 3 security personnel at Ninoy Aquino International Airport have been terminated by the Department of Transportation due to their alleged involvement in a tanim-bala or bullet planting incident. Transportation Secretary Vinso Dizon instructed Office of Transportation Security Administrator Arthur Bisnar to dismiss the 3 personnel from NAIA. Quote, "Appropriate investigation will be conducted and the proper administrative charges will be filed after the investigation has been conducted, but now we are terminating them already today," Dizon said in a press conference. Quote, "We will not stand for any abuse, and any abuse will be dealt with in the same results and the same swift action from us as mandated and as ordered to us by the President himself. He will not allow this to happen," end quote, he added. Bisnar said that the probe into the 3 personnel is ongoing. The DOT chief also said that he has instructed OTS officials to review the airport's screening and security procedures. He also announced that DOTR will establish a hotline for passengers to report their experience at NAIA. Quote, "I will order the setup of a hotline at the airport. Any wrongdoing done against our citizens, you may report them to this hotline." So if you're asking yourself what the heck is going on over here, here's the bullet scam. Essentially, as I just read, personnel will allegedly attempt to put a bullet or what looks like a bullet shell or casing into your luggage and then basically blackmail you for money if you want to go ahead and leave that screening area. The concern with this is, of course, it's going to make the Philippines look really bad. It doesn't have a good reputation, that specific airport, as it is already. And stuff like this does not help the country itself, its people. And it's really not fair to go ahead and judge the whole country based on incidents like this. But I do agree it's not a good look. No matter what I feel or what I say, it's not going to change the perception of people across the world. This, I believe, is a severe incident. If true, yeah, not a good look at all. And you guys should know about this so you're aware. Maybe you can plastic wrap some of your luggage. I personally wouldn't go this far. If you've not done anything wrong, it's not really, I'm not worried about it personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if other people are, and they take the extra step to go ahead and like plastic wrap everything, sure nobody can get in there. And for those saying lock your stuff, like the TSA, they stick and open that stuff. It's not a big deal. So if somebody wants to do you wrong, they're gonna try. So you gotta stand your ground and be polite and firm and just speak to the appropriate people. And hopefully this never happens to anybody else. Let's just hope, because this is not the first time. There's a lot of hoping going on here. This happened, I think, about 8 or 9 years ago. The big incident. This was happening quite often, actually, and they had to like arrest a whole bunch of people. I'm not certain about the details, but I know what happened. I saw the reports. Let's go on to our next story. Next up, the latest on that group of men walking through a subdivision in Minglanilla. Mayor Rajiv Enad met today with the Philippine National Police, PNP, and the Bureau of Immigration to discuss concerns regarding a group of foreign nationals recently seen marching through a subdivision in the town. During the meeting, which was also attended by representatives from Sterling, the developer of Minglanilla Highlands, where the group was spotted, details reportedly emerged. In Mayor Enad's Facebook post, he mentioned that one of the members of the group told the subdivision's property management office immediately after the march that they were doing a reenactment of Game of Thrones series. However, their supposed leader told Minglanilla police that they are a religious group whose beliefs are anchored in Old Testament, which states that they must go to the land where the sun rises in the far east. For them, this means Minglanilla, a place they found peaceful. Quote, these conflicting reasons gave rise to a valid concern about the real purpose of the group's presence here. A video of them all wearing black with a couple of them holding flags while marching inside a subdivision has circulated on social media. The Bureau of Immigration is already involved in the investigation and has a report and recommendation to his central office, Mayor Inaz's post stated. Quote, we are taking proactive steps to protect our community. Yes, we welcome tourists, but we must also be vigilant, the mayor added. And that is that. It does not help when you have contradicting statements coming from your own group members. One of you guys saying it's a religious march. The other one saying it's a reenactment of Game of Thrones. I've watched Game of Thrones multiple times. I can't quite recall where a group of people walked in a straight line of 60, but then again, I didn't see the whole march. So, or should I call it walk now? No hate on any side, but it does not look good still. We have to have permission, or at least let somebody know, as we discussed many times on this channel. But as long as they're not harming anybody, as long as they're tourists, as long as the visas are up to date, I mean, the Philippines does allow the freedom to practice your religion, even if you are a tourist. So that's that. Leave your thoughts down below. Still a lot of discussion regarding this in the comment section. For the past 2 videos, I covered originally the update, and now here's the latest. Anything you want to share? And then next up, in some major news from the Philippines, former President Rodrigo Duterte returned to the Philippines from Hong Kong aboard a commercial flight landing at NAIA Terminal 3. The ICC had issued an arrest warrant against Duterte, who is in Hong Kong over the weekend to campaign for Filipinos there. It's uncertain what the process would be after this, but some options are to transfer Duterte to a custodial state that is a member of the ICC. Duterte, who relentlessly ordered the offing of Filipinos from the presidential pulpit until 2022, is the latest former leader to be issued an arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court. Former President Duterte welcomed his arrest over a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court. His most loyal allies, however, continue to criticize the arrest. Former President Leila de Lima, who was detained for nearly 7 years over trumped-up charges by the Rodrigo Duterte administration, said his arrest is deeply personal for her. Quote, today Duterte is being made to answer, not to me, but to the victims, to the families, to the world that refuses to forget. This is not about vengeance. This is about justice finally taking its course, De Lima said. Quote, I faced the case knowing as I was innocent. I stood before the courts because I had nothing to hide. Duterte now has to answer for his actions, not in court of public opinion, but before the rule of law. This is how justice should work. Those in power must be held to the same standards as everyone else, she added. Okay, but a little bit hypocritical, I think. How many other leaders are under arrest warrant? I suggest you guys look into that. So why just this particular case? Why not all the other people who have arrest warrants across the world? Major leaders. What's going on there, ICC? And then a former attorney was sentenced this week to 9 years in prison after federal prosecutors say he inappropriately did stuff to people under 18 in Cambodia. Whose name is Ruff? James Klein, 44 years old, was accused of traveling to Cambodia in 2019 and paying for kids there to engage in inappropriate acts with him on multiple occasions, according to the court documents and news released from the U.S. Department of Justice. When Klein was arrested, investigators also found a laptop containing hundreds of images of inappropriate things. You can obviously figure that out yourself. The news release states Klein was arrested by police in Cambodia, where he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. He was later indicted in the U.S. In 2019, Klein was sentenced to 30 months in prison by Siem Reap court for doing the stuff we just talked about to 3 people who are not 18 years old yet. Good is all I gotta say. And here's our next story. And then quickly back to the Philippines. PhilHealth will reimburse $8.8 billion worth of hospital claims that were previously denied due to late filing. A decision that stands to benefit approximately 1.1 million claims, woohoo, submitted between 2018 and 2024. Great news for Filipinos and others who have filed claims but were denied. Hopefully it looks like you're getting some money. Who keeps messaging me? I ain't that popular. And then let's do one story from Thailand. A Russian mafia busted for extorting tourists on Koh Phangan. So Koh Phangan Island, famous for its full moon parties, has been rocked by the arrest of a Russian man accused of posing as a mafia boss to extort tourists. Vladislav Klanov, 27, allegedly dressed in fake police gear and claimed to have powerful Thai connections to intimidate fellow Russians. His charade came to an abrupt end when police raided his shop in Bantai, uncovering an air rifle, handcuffs, and a counterfeit police vest. Klanov, who had also been selling grass illegally, was charged with working without permit and, of course, substance abuse. Police are now urging any victim to come forward, reassuring them them of their safety. Authorities have reaffirmed their zero-tolerance policy regarding nonsense like this. Bruh, imagine you're in a country that's at war right now. Instead of fighting for your country, or even if you're against war, I don't believe in war, whatever. My point is, consider being in those trenches to the beautiful islands of Thailand, people welcoming you, giving you a free visa, and this is what you do, man. What is wrong with some people? Like, I just don't understand. Behave, man. Like, fake mafia? Oh, man. Anyways, and now it's time for a segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. I'd like to start off by thanking someone who bought me a coffee and says, "You're for real." Thank you so much, and if you guys want to show some extra love, extra support, it's always welcomed, of course. You can scan this QR code and buy me a coffee. Of course, I'd appreciate that from the bottom depths of my heart. Yesterday's story is about that British guy that's homeless now in the Philippines, Mindanao. And Coffee with Steve says, what's wrong with these old guys traveling around the world for love with no money? P. New Lab says, I don't believe a thing I hear from these people. And 106 says, more and more foreign men are falling victim to a Filipina's charm and beauty and scam. This is why the Philippines sooner or later is going to be declining of tourism, and that really bad because the Philippines is adventurous with many islands to see and people to meet. But when it comes to relationship with a Filipina, I have to agree with Alex and the viewers that you shouldn't give money to any Filipino, because more and more Filipinos realize that foreign men are desperate for love and will do anything to get it. It's sad and funny to some people, but for what has happened to this guy, serves as a reminder to all of us not to let our guards down. The Philippines used to be a very desirable country and live and visit, especially having a relationship with a Filipina, but sadly, that's all gone. I'm grateful that I married my wife in Vietnam, because I used to think my future wife was going to be Philippines. But after hearing many sad stories, many lies and scams that happened in a country that I once loved so sadly starting to decline, and soon will be go on an age of extinction, and that's bad for the Philippines. Of course, we all know not every Filipino woman is bad. We all know that. But after hearing stories like this, I would suggest for many men who are looking for a good woman to marry in Asia, try your luck with Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Japan, Korea, even China. Yep, you heard me right, because these countries are now the top rank of the most visited countries in all of Asia. Once again, Alex, thanks for sharing another sad video of a foreigner being left homeless in the Philippines. Hopefully this guy comes to senses and goes to Senator Raffy Tulfo and gets more exposure. But seriously, guys, focus on women that loves you and that doesn't love you for your money, because I hate to say this, but most Filipinos are with foreigners for money, not love. I hope I'm wrong, but more and more that theory is starting to be real. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. May he rot in hell and burn in the depths of the fucking lava, bro.